Chapter 4 Health is maintained by yourself rather than doctor. 第4章健康掌握在自己手里，不是医生手里。Number 1. Your disease is ultimately cured by your own internal rehabilitation function, and the doctor is just an external auxiliary factor. 你的疾病最终是由你自己内在的修复功能治好的，医生只是一个外在的辅助因素。Number 2. Your health is under your control. 你的健康是由你自己掌控的。Number 3. Use knowledge to control your health. 用知识掌控自己的健康。Number 4. Many patients were scared to death. 很多患者是被吓死的。Number 5. Our body needs maintenance. 我们的身体需要保养。Let's talk about them one by one as follows. 下面我们分别讲一下。Number 1. Your disease is ultimately cured by your own internal rehabilitation function. Now the doctor is just an external auxiliary factor. 你的疾病最终是由你自己内在的修复功能治好的。医生呢，只是一个外在的辅助因素。People are like cars. When a car isn't run without gasoline, just add gasoline. It is the power system of the car that makes the car run again. Adding gasoline is only an external auxiliary factor. 人如同汽车，当汽车没有汽油跑不了时，加上汽油就好了。是汽车本身的动力系统让汽车又跑起来。加汽油呢，只是一个外在的辅助因素。When a person is in shock due to excessive blood loss, he will gradually recover after blood transfusion. It is the patient's own cardiovascular system that allows the patient to recover. Blood transfusion is only an external auxiliary factor. 当一个人因失血过多休克时，医生给患者输血后，患者就逐渐康复了。是患者本身的心血管系统让患者康复起来的。输血只是一个外在的辅助因素。How does a fractured patient recover? After the fracture, the doctor connects and fixes the bones of the patient. After more than 3 months, the fracture is basically healed. This is the truth that is often referred to as 100 days are needed to treat injury to muscles and bones. 骨折病人是怎么康复的？骨折后，医生给病人把骨头接上，固定好。3个多月后，骨折就基本愈合了。常常说的伤筋动骨100天，就是这个道理。Who has cured the fracture in these 100 days? It is yourself, the magical self-rehabilitation function in your own body that has cured the fracture. The doctor is just an external auxiliary factor to help you to connect the broken ends of the fracture together. 这100天里是谁治好了骨折？是你自己，是你自己身体里内在的神奇的自我修复功能，把骨折治好了。医生只是一个外在的辅助因素，帮你把骨折断端接在一起。Number 2, your health is under your control. 你的健康是由你自己掌控的。I met a patient in his 20s who had diabetes. How could he get diabetes at such a young age? It was he himself who let him get it, not God let him get it. 我碰到一个20几岁得糖尿病的患者，这么年轻怎么会得糖尿病呢？是他自己让自己得的，不是老天让他得的。Because he drinks several bottles of Coca-Cola every day and often eats fried junk food. Everyone knows that the more you drink Coke, the more thirsty you will be. Why? Because Coke contains a lot of sugar. 因为他每天喝好几瓶可口可乐，经常吃油炸垃圾食品。大家都知道，口可乐，可乐越喝越渴。为什么？因为可乐含糖量很高。On the contrary, I have an elderly friend who is over 70 years old and is very healthy because he knows health knowledge. His own knowledge and good diet habits make him healthy and longevity. His health is controlled by himself instead of doctors. 相反，我有一个忘年之交，他已经70多岁了，身体很硬朗，因为他懂健康的知识，是他自己的知识和良好的饮食习惯，让他健康长寿。他的健康掌握在他自己手里，并未掌控在医生手里。Number 3, use knowledge to control your health. 用知识掌控自己的健康。Nowadays, many people are in sub-health but cannot find the reason. And many people are sick and count on the doctors in the hospital to save them. They don't know the knowledge of health. For example, the book Heal Yourself Rather Than See a Doctor, written by me, can prevent subhealth and disease. It can even save you who are already sick. 现在有很多人呀，处于亚健康却找不到原因，也有很多人生病了就指望医院的医生拯救他们，殊不知健康的知识，比如我编写的这本书，看医生不如看自己，就可以预防亚健康和疾病，甚至可以拯救已患病的你。Many patients were scared to death. 很多患者是被吓死的。This is a true story. Patient A and patient B went to a hospital for treatment. Patient A was told that he suffered from cancer, and patient B was told that he suffered from enteritis. 这是一个真实的故事。患者 A 和患者 B 去某医院就诊。患者 A 呢被告知为癌症，患者 B 被告知为肠炎。A year later, the two patients returned to the clinic, and it turned out that the hospital made a mistake in the diagnosis of the two patients a year ago. In fact, patient A did not have cancer. It was enteritis, and patient B had cancer. 1年后，2名患者复诊，结果发现1年前医院把2名患者的诊断弄错了。其实患者 A 并没有癌症，而是肠炎，而患者 B 才是癌症。However, when the two patients returned to the clinic a year later, patient A really got cancer due to long-term depression, worry, and low mood. The cancer of the patient B miraculously disappeared because the cancer cells cannot survive in the body with cheerful mood as well as strong immunity. 但是1年后复诊时，患者 A 因长期抑郁、担心、心情低落，真的患上了癌症，而患者 B 的癌症却奇迹般的消失了，因为癌细胞无法在一个开心、快乐、免疫力很强的身体里存活。Another example. 夏伯渝 a 69-year-old legless old man was diagnosed with lymphoma 20 years ago. He didn't think much about it and didn't care about it. He just focused on the mountaineering he loves and finally succeeded in reaching the summit of the Mount Everest 20 years later. There is no recurrence of lymphoma. 另一个例子，69岁的无腿老人夏伯渝，20年前被确诊为淋巴癌，他没有多想，也不去管它，只是集中注意力于自己热爱的登山运动。20年后，终于成功登顶珠穆朗玛峰，淋巴癌也没有复发。Many cancer patients undergo surgery, chemotherapy, and radiotherapy in the hospital and die faster. Why? Because chemotherapy is extremely harmful to body, and the patient is extremely worried. The body's immunity is getting lower and lower, resulting of scaring to death. 而很多癌症患者在医院接受手术、化疗、放疗，结果去世的更快。为什么呢？因为化疗对身体的伤害特别大，加上患者心里有一块石头放不下，身体的免疫力越来越低，结果就被吓死了。Number 5, our body needs maintenance. 我们的身体需要保养。Cars need to be maintained every 5,000 kilometers. For the same reason, you need a period of vacation to relax after years of work in order to relieve your body's stress. 汽车每跑5000公里，需要保养维修一次。同样的道理，你长年累月工作后，需要一段时间度假放松，以缓解身体的压力。You need to rest and maintain at night after work during the day. If a person has been working for a month without sleeping, he will die of fatigue. 你白天工作后，晚上需要休息保养。如果一个人一直工作1个月不睡觉，就会疲劳死。